Welcome to the Thursday, May 9th meeting of the Park and Recreation Board. We're going to kick this night off with the flag salute, so if you'd all stand with me. Please place your right hand over your heart and repeat with me. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Roll call.
Miss Flowers.
Here.
Miss Bergdorf.
Present.
Mr. Gassau.
Here.
Mr. DiPaolo.
Here.
Mr. Gassau. Oh, sorry. Mr. DiPaolo. Miss Jackson. I'm so sorry. Thank you.
May. Spring is in the air, except for the cold, wet weather outside. Yeah, rain tomorrow. Now it's time for our announcements of everything going on in our lovely city, and I'd like to introduce Edgar Manukian up to give us all that good stuff.
Good evening, Chair Lowers and members of the board. My name is Edgar Manukian. The Betsy Luke Creative Arts Center is pleased to feature the Collage Artists of America as this month's gallery show, which includes mixed media, assemblage, and digital collage. Artists are the heart and soul of the CAA. Founded in 1988, this non-profit organization boasts a membership of over 150 members throughout the U.S. The title of the exhibit, Reality is Highly Overrated, is curated by art critic Peter Frank and displays various techniques and interpretations of this title. Check it out, it's on view at the Betsy Luke Creative Arts Center until May 23rd. Treat your mom to special champagne brunch this Mother's Day at the Hilltop Restaurant at the Bell Golf Club. There's 2 seatings for this Mother's Day, Sunday, May 12th, with a 9:30 a.m. seating and a 12:30 p.m. seating. Enjoy live music and amazing buffet, which includes a prime rib carving station, chicken and fish, pasta, champagne, and mimosas. Reserve your seat today. The City of Burbank Parks and Recreation Department and the Burbank Veterans Committee proudly present the annual Memorial Day ceremony on Monday, May 27th at 11 a.m. This event will take place at McCambridge Park, meet by the War Memorial near San Fernando Road and Amherst Drive. Join for a pre-ceremony concert by the Burbank Community Band at 10:15 a.m. This event will feature a ceremony of the rose and a flyover by the Condor Squadron to honor, remember, and celebrate the men and women who have served our country. Let's go Dodgers! The City of Burbank Annual Dodger Day is Sunday, June 23rd at 1:10 p.m. Join us for a community day as we celebrate and support our Los Angeles Dodgers as they take on the Colorado Rockies. The deadline to purchase tickets is May 17th. Don't miss out on the fun. Tickets are currently on sale at the sports office located at 1111 West Olive Avenue. Post-game activities include Kids Run the Bases for everyone 14 years and younger. The official Starlight Bowl Summer Concert Series kicks off an American Celebration Fireworks Spectacular show on July 4th with the swing sensation band Big Bad Voodoo Daddy. This season's lineup also includes headliners Fab Four, Yachtly Crew, John Waite, and more. In addition, we are delighted to announce special engagement shows including Air Supply, Kenny G, and Alabina. Go to starlightbowl.com for the full lineup of summer fun. Tickets go on sale May 21st and are available online and in person at the Parks and Recreation administrative offices. It's time to splash in the summer. Be safe and confident in the water. Both McCambridge Pool and the Verdugo Aquatic Facility offer learn to swim classes for all levels. Also note that recreational swim opens May 25th for the Verdugo Aquatic Facility and on June 3rd for McCambridge Pool. Lap swim is open year-round. Check the aquatics page on the city website for the full schedule. The Summer Recreation Guide is out and available at burbankparks.com. Burbank resident registration begins on May 29th at 9 a.m. Check out our many recreational class offerings. There's something for everyone. Looking for summer camp options this summer? Our specialty camps may be the right fit for you. Art Experience Camp is a unique half-day camp that immerses campers into the world of visual and performing arts through a rotating schedule of workshops including art, dance, music, and theater. Each session is designed to enrich, excite, and inspire. Little Rangers Club and Verdugo Mountain Explorers Camp is perfect for those outdoor adventures. Campers participate in the nature hikes, crafts, science experiments, and nature-related activities. Enjoy summer at Stowe. Calling all junior campers. Summer Playdays is designed for younger campers aged 3 1/4 to 5 years old. Campers will participate in arts and crafts, sports, music, science, special events, and more. Don't miss out on the fun. Sign up today. Now registering summer sports camps. Parks and Recreation is offering 13 different camp options, including full-day options. Keep active this summer and sign your kids up for baseball, softball, volleyball, soccer, track and field, flag football, basketball, breakthrough sports of LA Clippers, or Amazing Athletes, or got game camps for multiple sport options. You can learn more about sport camps and specialty camps at burbankca.gov/camps. Do you know someone who made a significant contribution to the City of Burbank's sports programs? We're taking nominations for the 2019 Burbank Walk of Fame. Recognize the commitment and dedication of individuals and organizations who, in their roles as participants, volunteers, sponsors, or professional staff, have furthered the excellence of organized sports programs. Applications are due Friday, June 28th to the sports office. Go to burbankca.gov/walk of fame for the application and more information. To stay up to date on the latest happenings with Burbank Parks and Recreation, be sure to follow us on Facebook and Instagram. You can also find out about our programs and events I've mentioned above by visiting our website, burbankca.gov/park and rec events. Thank you. This concludes my announcements.
Thank you very much, Ed. Okay, are there any cards for oral communication? So I guess there would be no response to oral communications. Do we have any written communications? None either. Any park board comments? Wow. Oh, Mickey.
I
Should say
had
Mr.
the.
DiPaolo.
Thank you. There you call me anything but late for dinner. That people said that times. I robbed that from George Foreman. Anyway, today I had the privilege of going to the Burbank Association of Realtors meeting this morning, and to basically talk about our great department. And in the time I was up there, I passed out a lot of flyers, and they were especially interested in the Starlight program for this summer. So we went over that, and they were pretty impressed with what we're going to be presenting this summer. And then I hit on all the youth and adult sports programs, activities, encourage them that we are a much better price than the gyms like 24-Hour Fitness. We have great instructors, and also about our 2 pools, and the lap swim at Verdugo, and also Jocelyn Center, and I also mentioned them maybe volunteering for the home delivered meals, which they still need volunteers for. But I pretty much ran the gamut of everything in our department, and I didn't have a copy of the summer program yet because it's just going to be going online. But I did bring a spring program and kind of gave the Parks Department a little bit of a boost because it had the picture of the grounds people on there, and I mentioned to them about the reason our parks look so nice is the people that work on the parks. So it was very nice. I was very privileged to be there. Mr. Gusso couldn't make it, so he asked me if I'd sub, and I did the best I could, Barry. So, all right, thank you.
Very good. Anyone else have anything? Yes, Ms. Jackson.
I would like to announce that I will not be reapplying for Park Board. It has been said that for everything there is a season, and my season for this type of issue is coming to a close. I'm focusing on other things. Time is the most important thing in your possession. Let no one else decide how yours will be spent. That's Mark Twain. Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure serving with all of you, and I really appreciate staff, and I will miss you all. Thank you.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much for the time that you've given to Park and Rec Board. I know that you know this is a fabulous program and made even better because of your participation in it, so thank you. Any other comment? Anybody else not re-upping? Oh, no.
Just quickly, I wanted to let everybody know that I attended the council meeting Tuesday evening, and I spoke on behalf of the Parks and Rec Board supporting the projects for the upcoming budget. So just to let you know, I did speak on our behalf.
And thank you very much. You were standing in for me because I couldn't.
That's right.
Way that night. Okay, everybody, okay, so moving right along to new business. We have first up the annual report from the PIM Inc. Roller hockey facility report. So Marissa Garcia.
Good evening, Chair Lowers and board members. I have a very brief introduction before PIM comes and does their presentation. So as the chair mentioned, this evening the board will receive an annual update on the city's roller hockey program. As the board may recall, the City Council approved a 5-year lease and operating agreement with PIM Inc. in December of 2017 to provide a community youth and adult roller hockey, ball hockey, as well as other activities at the roller hockey facility located at Foy Park. PIM assumed the operation on February 1st of 2018. Immediately after taking the facility, PIM rebranded the facility the Burbank Roller Hockey Facility, also known as the LA Kings Burbank Sports Center, and held a couple of meet and greet events to welcome roller hockey and ball hockey players. During these events, PIM accepted registration for the winter season, served free lunch, and officially opened the LA Kings Burbank Sports Center to the public. During this first year, rent payments in the amount of $3,501 per quarter were received in a timely fashion. In all, during the first year, the city received $14,004 in payments. And just for comparison purposes, the city was receiving $8,800 a year in annual payments under the prior agreement. I am also happy to share with the board that during the first year, PIM completed all but one of the planned capital improvements. And this was something that we added to this agreement. The prior agreement did not call for any capital improvements from the operator. So while Mr. Floman will go over all of the projects that were completed, it's important that the board be aware that the playing surface was not completed during the first year as planned. As approved by the city, the playing surface is being deferred and will be completed in year 3 to be done in conjunction with a new shade covering that will be installed. While adult participation remains strong at the facility, the youth program is not anywhere where we'd like it to be. To help develop youth programming, PIM has continuously provided a lot of free youth programming to introduce youth to the sport in hopes of growing the numbers of youth teams and participants. Staff and PIM will continue to work together to focus on the youth programming, and in time, we believe the youth program will once again be a vibrant program. PIM has completed their first successful year in managing and operating the LA Kings Burbank Sports Center. They have been in substantial compliance with the operation and management terms of the agreement. As I mentioned previously, they completed their year 1 goals and objectives. They made base rent payments and completed the repairs and capital improvements to the premise. Staff is looking forward to future facility improvements and the expanded programming at the LA Kings Burbank Sports Center. With that, I would like to introduce Scott Floman, who is the president of PIM, to make a presentation to the board.
Welcome, Scott.
Hello. How's everybody doing today?
Good.
Good. Okay, first things first, everyone's always asked, what does PIM mean? So those of you who are not hockey fans, it stands for penalty in minutes. So it's a little acronym for how much time you spend in the penalty box. Let's get that out of the way. So first year we thought went very well. We got the opportunity to put a couple really big improvements that we wanted. One was a scoreboard. Before there really wasn't one. It was just a little handheld one. We got to put a 12-foot by 8-foot scoreboard in, and it sat absolutely perfect because, you know, when you're retrofitting things, you want to make sure it's great. Center floor, we got to put our logo, which I think brings out and makes it look amazing. And most importantly, we got to put a new board system in. The old system was very dilapidated. It was, you can't get replacement parts. They stopped making it about a decade ago, and you just can't find anything for it. So we basically put, you know, the latest and greatest, and it works out great along with the sound system. And then we brought in a container that we now put in that we use for storage because we're hoping this summer to start doing family nights. So we've gone and purchased about 80 pairs of inline and quad roller skates so that we can have families out and get them just to skate. We'll play music and do kind of a family night type of thing. So we actually have skates for them, as well as for our kids program, we have all our gear for when they come, helmets, sticks, even goalie gear, all that backup stuff set up and sized. Inside the premise that was already there, just used as an office and some storage, we created a pro shop, which for any of our players, if they forget tape or they need a blade for their stick or they want a ball, and we have our logo, we have shirts made with our logo as well as jerseys that go along with it. So we've gotten a really great response, as well as water and that type of stuff. And then along with that, we put in first aid kits and all the necessary stuff that whenever you have a sports facility, you have to have. And then a couple things that have been really, really positive. So the LA Kings have been a big support with us. Last weekend we had Bailey out. For those of you who don't know, it's the LA Kings mascot. He came out. We had quite a few kids out, and it was a really great event. And we've had the ice crew out. And one of the things that we're really pushing for youth is ball hockey. And so I can explain what ball hockey is. It's basically the same thing as roller hockey, but you don't have to skate. So you use tennis shoes. And so for someone who's not already proficient with skating or afraid of it, you now can play the sport simply by using tennis shoes, running. And we have referees out there, and it's really, really been a nice growth that we've seen. So I think that's the angle that we're definitely doing. In fact, the LA Kings have found it so positive that we're now starting a high school ball hockey league. And there's 3 other roller hockey rinks that are going to be in conjunction with us that are also going to be doing high school roller hockey. And then what we're going to end up doing is creating a championship where we can actually bring other people into our town and create a really great new type of activity that really didn't exist before. Aside from that, I mean, we're hoping to get out into do a lot more advertisement with the schools. A couple things that were mentioned with the park, any youth programs, summer programs. We would love to be a part of all those things. We're more than willing to donate coaches' time, rink time, any of that stuff to make it something else. So if there's a summer camp and they're not exposed to it, we'll be happy to bring people out to and teach them how to play roller hockey as an activity that maybe someone hasn't been exposed to. That's about it. Questions?
Anyone have any questions?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Paul?
Just real quick, I'm glad you mentioned that we have summer day camps and you could bring that ball hockey right out and do it on the gym floor or outside, but it kind of thought back to the old days when we used to do floor hockey all the time. And with a puck, and the kids just had, the plastic sticks and everything, and it worked out really well. I mean, and that would probably bring some young people into your program. So.
Yes, and we have all the gear.
Yeah,
so
beautiful.
If we can even figure out to get them to the park,
Sure.
we can actually outfit them with gloves, helmets, all the protective gear, and it's a lot of fun.
Great promotion for your program. I would think you'd get a lot of interest by doing that. So, thanks for bringing that.
Love to.
Thank you for the nice report too.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Mr. Gussa?
Thanks, Scott. Great report. I have a tough question for you.
Yes, sir.
So did we lose a lot of our youth participants to the previous operator?
We did. When we first opened, we anticipated having a lot of the leftovers, to put it that way, and we weren't under the understanding he had opened up a facility, a few miles away at another park, which we didn't think was possible. So we didn't actually account for that. And then a number of the youth program went there. And Dave, I don't even know how that's even going over there, to be honest with you. Do you have?
Hi, I'm Scott's business partner.
Yeah, this is Dave Sirianni.
You guys didn't call my name, but that's okay. So how that's worked is, understandably, when he operated a program for 10 years, he's become friends with the families, the kids, the participants, and when he did open a facility in North Hollywood, a lot of those families did follow him. So what we did with Scott mentioned the ball hockey program, is because it's we don't want to get into that tonight, but it's been a little bit of a turf war. And so what we've decided is we wanted to go with a completely different sport and target our youth program on ball hockey. Kids don't need to know how to skate. A lot of kids, Scott mentioned that a lot of kids don't play hockey or roller hockey because they don't know how to ice skate or they don't know how to rollerblade. So we wanted to have our own niche. Unfortunately, he's trying to do that now as well. So we are in a constant battle, but we are making strides with our ball hockey program, our youth program.
And one thing else I forgot to mention, starting June, lacrosse.
Oh, yeah. June 28th, we just signed a deal with a high school coach from La Cañada. And for the last year, I've been just searching everywhere to bring in a box hockey.
Box lacrosse.
Box lacrosse is lacrosse that's played on a field, but it's now played in an arena, which we have, and we have the fencing around at Ralph Hoy Park. So we just signed a deal with her. She's it's the name of the program is Slingshot Lacrosse, very well known program. We're doing girls because she is a coach of all the girls programming. So she's going to bring in a 10-week program of girls, and then her business partner runs all of the boys side of Slingshot Lacrosse. So we're branching out. We're going in a lot of different areas because, once again, we're trying to find that niche where we don't have to compete with somebody that's a few miles down the road and provide a program for all the youth in Burbank.
Well, and also because we want to be the Burbank Sports Center, not just hockey,
Yes, yeah.
because the facility is great, and it shouldn't be just held to one sport. It could be used multifaceted.
Good. Keep battling.
Thank you.
There you go. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
You mentioned skate park. Skating. We have a skate park, as you know, over at Valley Park.
Yeah.
That's another good area to go by and to recruit some players to come over and maybe have some flyers to pass out. They get a lot of parent support when they do a special event over there.
Okay.
And I'll try to make sure that, because I live in the area where
Okay.
your arena is, so
Okay.
I'll get some flyers by there that will say when their special events they have at the skate park. They have
Yeah.
a lot of parental support there.
Oh,
And so that's really a good venue for you to go.
And-
helpful.
Yeah, and the biggest thing for us is we'll go there and they'll come out for free. And you bring them out for free. We give them the gear. Once you play once, I'm telling you, take it from someone who started playing hockey at 30. I'm addicted. I'm still I love the sport. It's just amazing.
I like the sports center idea. It's great.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Mr. Gessler?
Sorry, I forgot one question.
Yes.
So have you made any attempt to work with the Boys and Girls Club?
Yes. We've reached out with the local YMCA's actually, and they had a program of their own, and it was seasonal. So the woman over there that runs, the director over there that was running the program, has been working kind of with us, and they're off season. She does push a lot of the participants our way, so we're kind of working that out still. But yeah. Oh, the local Boys and Girls Club in Burbank? No, unfortunately not. But we will.
We can fix that.
That would be great.
Yes,
Yeah,
we've
that'd
had those conversations recently about connecting them with some of the potential participants, Boys and Girls Club, the YMCA. We've helped facilitate, because they're not a nonprofit, they can't advertise through BUSD as an independent operator, but they can if it's done through the auspice of the city. So those are things that we're trying to work out. Whereas the prior operator was a nonprofit, he did flyers, dropped them off to schools, and the schools would distribute them. But as a for-profit organization, they are not allowed to do that directly with the school district. So there's just little things that we're trying to work out the kinks. But definitely, we know that youth is a priority, and that's something that we're going to tackle this next year for sure.
Prior operator
Great.
is a nonprofit? Interesting.
Well, no, never mind.
I honestly think that it's time. It's just going to, because people age out of programs, people age into programs, and, to be Johnny on the spot as local kids age into these kinds of programs. And I love the idea of doing ball hockey, because that's great, especially for younger ones, to get more confident with that kind of programming. And maybe they'll pick up the skating later.
They're called feeder programs, and it's the best. It's the best way. It's a transition to keep going. Though we have an adult ball hockey that you'd be scared. They're competitive.
Oh boy.
There's professional ball hockey in Canada and in the upper states.
My younger, more physically fit days, I played field hockey, which was like full contact football
Yes.
with sticks.
With sticks.
Good times. Anybody else have any questions? Well, thank you very much. I go by often and see it's a lot of adult teams out there, so it's very popular and
Thank you.
nice looking facility, and I have nothing but high hopes for the future. So thank you.
Wonderful.
Thank you very much.
Thank you all. Appreciate it.
Good night.
Next up, our favorite topic, budget. It's like a 4-letter word with 6 letters. So our budget update. Kristen, woo woo. Did you get the short straw?
Yes. Good. I love the budget.
Oh yeah.
Good evening, Chair Lowers and members of the board. It gives me great pleasure to provide you with an update on our fiscal year 2019-20 budget planning efforts. The city's budget planning efforts are well underway. To date, the City Council has received several presentations as it relates to the budget. Most recently, on this past Tuesday evening, the Council conducted the utility rate public hearing and was presented with the infrastructure investment plan and discussion papers. 2 of the discussion papers related to the Parks and Recreation included Burbank on Parade and electric leaf blowers. As previously discussed, with the passing of Measure P, Council's top priority is investing in the city's aging infrastructure. The fiscal year 2019-20 proposed Fund 534 budget takes a significant step forward by addressing the city's infrastructure needs with $20.7 million in capital spending proposed, alongside $3.5 million in annual maintenance dollars. Included in the $20.7 million is an $8 million annual investment in the city's streets and roadways and another $4 million in annual programmatic capital to fund regular upgrades and replacements of items like sidewalks, building systems, and playgrounds. While Measure P revenue does not fully address identified capital needs for existing and new assets, the newly established Infrastructure Oversight Board, known as the IOB, will be instrumental in evaluating citywide infrastructure priorities with a focus on maintaining existing assets. The Parks and Recreation Board will share infrastructure priorities with the IOB for ultimate council approval. On the horizon, we anticipate additional Parks and Recreation funding from 2 sources, Measure A and Prop 68. Measure A, passed by LA County voters in November 2016, will provide an annual allocation of $369,978. These funds can be accrued for up to 5 years. We also have the opportunity to apply for competitive grant funding through Measure A. Additionally, we anticipate a minimum of $200,000 available in funding from the Prop 68 per capita program, and voters passed Prop 68 statewide June 2018. These funds support rehabilitation of existing infrastructure and address deficiencies in neighborhoods lacking access to outdoor space. Staff anticipates these funds will be made available in early fall. Additionally, with Prop 68, they also offer a competitive grants program, which we'll also be looking into applying for that as well. So staff will continue to keep the board informed as more information about these grant funding sources become available. The City Council is expected to adopt the fiscal year 2019-2020 budget this Tuesday, May 14th, 2019. The meeting begins at 6 p.m. in the City Hall Council Chambers. This concludes my presentations, and I'm happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Oh, you made that look easy. Anybody have any questions on the board? You not only were easy, you were efficient.
Thank you.
Very good.
If I could, Chair Lowers, I just wanted to mention that what will be nice is that we finally do have some money to program, and that's not been the norm for the last, 20 years or so. So what will be really great is this next year will involve the board a lot more in that planning and prioritizing. There's some things we just have to do from our irrigation and things like that, but there are some fun projects like we toured, making a multi-sports complex up at Brace and just other areas. There's, in fact, talk of should we do something on the new reservoir that was recently built, similar to what we've done at Brace. So there's lots of really exciting things on the horizon for the community, and we look forward to the board playing a role in prioritizing and helping us go to the IOB to make presentations as to why our projects should get funded and have priority. And so it'll be exciting, I think, as we move forward. And it's really fantastic to think that we're going to be getting over $500,000 a year in per capita out of those two measures that were passed. And that doesn't always happen where we actually get per capita. So I think that was really good for our community. And that's all I wanted to say.
The trick is going to be making sure that we continue to educate the public about how the money's being spent. Because now that people are starting to feel the impact of the extra tax, they're hurting a little bit, and I've heard some complaints like, oh my gosh. So it's very important that they're allowed to feel a part of the process, that they are being kept advised of how their money's being spent, so they can have some ownership into the projects that are being done, because that'll lessen that pain a little bit to know that some quality is coming. So often taxes get passed and very little is done to educate the public, and I think Burbank does a good job of that, but they have to do an even better job in this particular case, because a lot the future depends on those things. So.
We couldn't agree more. And in fact, you and I had actually talked about that, and we've already approached the Public Information Office to ensure that we're really doing a good job to market that when projects, at this point, we haven't yet had any projects that are paid for it because we just started to collect the tax. But ultimately, over the next year, we will absolutely be doing that. And we can do that with our projects where anytime we've used state bond money or anything like that, you have to put up a sign. They require it that says this project being paid for in part by, blah, blah, blah. So we will absolutely do that as well. And I would note that for the measures, there is a requirement for community outreach on those and how we plan to spend those dollars. So that's another way to just keep people informed. So we have lots of really great things on the horizon, not just in Parks and Recreation, but in the community in general, with a lot of street paving projects, just a lot of stuff going on.
Yeah, I'm actually very proud of the citizens of Burbank that passed that. It had to be a tough conversation in a lot of households, and we don't want to let them down since they did take that big step. That's why I live in Burbank, and very supportive community, very strong city infrastructure. So it's good. It's all good. Thank you. Let's see, where are we at? The Parks and Recreation calendar of board meetings, another exciting topic. Marissa Garcia, please.
Good evening again. Staff thought it would be appropriate to have the board discuss the upcoming calendar of board meetings and direct staff as appropriate. So just a little background. Throughout the calendar year, the City Council, as well as other boards and commissions, go dark for various reasons. In particular, meetings are canceled during the summer and holiday season to provide both staff and board members an opportunity to focus on other projects, take vacations, or just spend time with the families. In prior years, the Parks and Recreation Board has traditionally elected to go dark in July and or December. And as a reminder, if it's the desire of the board to go dark either both months or one or the other, This would not impact the board's ability to conduct business, as staff would have plenty of time to appropriately calendar any items for board's consideration. Moreover, if there are any sensitive matters that do need to be discussed by the board, staff can easily schedule a special meeting so that those matters can be addressed. With that, we look forward to the board's discussion on this matter and direction on upcoming calendar of board meetings. Thank you.
Anybody have any comments?
I support having July and December dark for our meetings. I think it worked last year, and I think it's absolutely fine. I'm okay with it.
Anybody else have any comments? Does that require a motion? Oh, wait, I'm sorry, Mr. Gussa.
So, my question, I'm in support of that as well, except I have a question as to whether, with the new funds available through Measure P, will we have things to discuss in July that we're on the precipice of something, of a new situation? Is there anything that we might have to discuss in July?
I can't think of anything, and mostly because, honestly, the budget gets adopted July 1, and then we go through a very extensive purchasing process to head out on any of our projects. So it takes time for those things to happen. And I know we weren't planning on jumping into any of those dollars either with the community meetings and that type of stuff. We want to kind of work with you guys a little bit about what's the best approach for those dollars. Do we hold off and do something big? Do we not? And, make a presence right now, that there's some little things, projects that need to get taken care of. So I would think that we should be okay moving forward, because it just takes us time, unfortunately, to move our way through purchasing processes and that type of thing.
Okay. Do we need a motion for those 2 months, or is it just recommended?
I made the motion. I move that we go dark the months of July and December.
Second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to go dark the months of July and December. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? I abstain. There you go. Okay. That brings us to the consent calendar. And on the consent calendar tonight, we have the approval of minutes from the April 9th special meeting, City Council agenda items update, contract compliance, the Park Patrol report, the River Supply Conduit project update, and the departmental operations update. Is there anything in here anyone likes to pull for further discussion? Or ask questions, or? Okay, there being no response, would anyone like to move to approve that?
Move to approve the consent calendar as written.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to approve the consent calendar as written. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, that motion carries. Brings us to the second period of oral communications. I don't believe we have anybody that wants to talk to us tonight. And additional comments from the board. Mr. DiPaolo.
I just want to express my sincere gratitude to Ms. Jackson. It's been great working with you on the board, and you're really sincere in your efforts, and you have contributed a lot to the board and to our department, and you're going to be missed, and thank you for your service.
You'll be here next month, won't you? Oh.
You won't?
Oh.
Oh.
Don't throw anything at the screen. Okay. This is a time for an introduction. I'm sorry, Mr. Gusso.
So, Ms. Jackson, you're taking the month of June off?
I think I will, yes. I'll be taking June and maybe July, August, September.
You'll miss us.
I will miss you all. So
We will miss you, Ms. Jackson.
thank you, sir.
I certainly will.
That's one of the best things about serving on boards and commissions and doing volunteer work in this community is you meet the nicest people, and I recommend that service highly.
Thank you.
And I will miss you dearly.
Okay, now it's time to, any new agenda items that anyone would like to see us talk about in the future. When's our next update on DeBelle and the restaurant and stuff up there?
In the packet tonight on the consent agenda, we did share their annual plan that was presented to the city council on Tuesday night. But I think we have calendared, for next month, we are bringing forward the question that was asked regarding the Hilltop restaurant events and that type of thing. So that will be on the agenda next month.
Very good. Good. I appreciate that. All right. Anybody have anything else? Do we have a motion to adjourn?
I move to adjourn this meeting.
Second.
Meeting is adjourned.